Hey guys, Allison here. I have a question for you. Are you blocking your blessings? I know I did for many, many years, and I started to really look at it. And there are many ways that we can unwittingly be blocking the blessings that God has for us. So I want to go over the top 5 ways that I've observed that people can use to block their blessings. All right, we all claim we want to be happy, we want a happy family, a good relationship, meaningful work, and yet sometimes it seems like we're really, really blocked. So I want you to look at these 5 ways and see if these might describe you or something that you're doing, or maybe somebody that you know. First one is busyness, all right? Always being so busy that we can't see the little things that are good in our life, or we just can't stop to smell the roses. I remember seeing an acronym years ago. It said BUSY, being under Satan's yoke. So we need to think about that, and you need to carve out some time for prayer, for relaxation, for that conversation with God, and also to be able to kind of observe what's around you. What do you have that's good? If you stay busy, 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 you're not going to see it. The second way that we block our blessings is a big one: anger, resentment, and envy. So often we're holding on to anger, we're resentful of something we don't have, or something that may have happened in the past, or we're envious of what other people have. We may not even realize it, but we are not focused on what we do have. All we're looking at is those other things. That kind of makes us very attached that way to these resentments and this anger. If you're struggling with that, highly recommend you talk to a Catholic therapist and try to work that out, because God doesn't want us living with that kind of anger and resentment. Yes, sometimes unfair things happen in our lives, but if we hold on to it, we're the ones who get hurt. So we've got to really look at that, because that can block a lot of blessings that God is trying to send your way. Another way, the third way, is the lack of belief. If you find yourself saying things like, well, it's just my luck, well, with my luck, that'll never happen and everything, you're really betraying what you really believe, that there aren't good things for you, or that God doesn't love you enough, or that you just can't imagine good things happening. And I think you got to work on that, because we need to really believe that God loves you. He's got a plan. He's got a purpose for you. And sometimes when things don't work the way we want, we have to still believe that, He's working something even better out for us. So watch your self-talk. If you find yourself saying things like, just my luck, you got to work on that, because I used to do that. Remember that character Ziggy, that kind of lovable schlemiel, everything went wrong? I remember in high school, I really liked him. Whoa, I don't like him anymore, right? Because I was really kind of identifying that way, and it really didn't do me any good. Now, the 4 and 5, I would say, are kind of related. We become very attached to our own will and our own preconceived notions of what's going to make us happy. So we may expect certain things, or we may, let's say, I want to marry Fred, or I want to do this, or I want to become this. And we become very attached to that, and maybe that isn't God's will for us. And sometimes we even do that. Let's say somebody sticks in a relationship even when there's evidence that they're not happy, because they've become so attached to their own will or their preconceived notion of what it's supposed to be. So number 5 goes hand in hand with that. We may make an unconscious decision to be unhappy. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous. Everybody wants to be happy. That's what we profess, right? But we may be saying things like, well, if it rains on Sunday, I'm going to be really upset. Or if I don't get into this school, I'm going to be miserable. Or I'm not going to be happy. And we don't realize it, that we are making a decision, and then we start living by that decision, and we block the blessings that are out there. I assure you, God has great blessings for you, and sometimes they come in very unexpected ways. We need to kind of have that attitude of receptivity and that attitude of trust, and also to kind of have an attitude of wonder, to look at some of the good things that have happened in your life, that are happening, the potentials that you have, and to really, really look at that and allow God to work in your life. Again, if you find that you're really kind of tied up with resentment, anger, or that you feel really blocked, I highly recommend you talk to a specifically Catholic therapist who can help you kind of from a spiritual sense, but also from a psychological sense. We have great people listed on CatholicTherapist.com, so I encourage you to log on, find somebody near you, or somebody who can work with you by phone. All right? I hope that helps. God bless you. See you soon.